According to the Sumerian story, there is the idea that the Anunnaki came down in search for gold. And once they realized that they had exhausted the gold of the Persian Gulf in order to fix their atmosphere, so it's something that we do today, they then went down into southern Africa. And that is where Enki, Ninhursag, Anu, and Enlil began their experimentation on primitive man, adding Anunnaki blood through in vitro fertilization to manifest a slave race that we now call ourselves. You would think that's the only story, and that's the only time. But what archaeologists and scientists have found down in the Absu, down in South Africa, in Swaziland, in Zululand, is the fact that there are ancient gold mines that existed 200,000 years ago. Are they the only ones who tell this story? Absolutely not. When you look at the stories of the Zulu, they have a legend that tells of the first people. These first people that were manifested, created by the gods, came down, created and mixed blood with these first people and created this with the ape man, as they call them. And they became the slave race that was to mine gold for the gods of the Zulu. We find these stories similar in all types of other cultures, where the gods came down, mixed their blood with the blood of primitive man, created the first people, and then utilized those people to mine gold for them. The people didn't necessarily know what the purpose of the gold was, but we find ancient gold mines all over the planet that would suggest that there's some validity to the legend, as all legends have a level of truth that is based off of and then legendized over time. So were the Sumerians right? Did Enlil, Enki, Anu, and Ninhursag get together, create a lab in southern Africa to raise man's genome to a level to which man could work the gold mines? Because Enki had engineered a first union strike with the Agigi towards the Anunnaki so that he can gain power on Earth over his brother Enlil, because Enki could never have true power since he was born from a concubine and not born from the queen herself with Anu and his wife. These stories later have been massaged over 4,000 years, from the Sumerian stories into the Akkadians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, and then into the Hebrew story of God making man out of clay and man being a slave to the worship of God instead of recognizing his Godhead.